Hello everyone. This is a short video to show you how you can use Snap2Map to make the map tour story map in ArcGIS Online. This demonstration is for the Mountain Rescue Association. This morning during our Hangout, I made a quick map that you see here called the map tour. On the left are photos, and on the right is a map. And you'll see here there's a little interaction between the photo and the map. That's why it's known as the map tour. Each photo knows its location and therefore can appear here on your screen on the map. Snap2Map can be downloaded for free on the iPhone App Store and also on Android devices. The reason why I'm showing how to make a map tour is not just to tell stories, but for instance, the Youth Search and Rescue team here in New Zealand is going to be using Snap2Map for creating search and rescue pre-planning areas. They'll go out and take photos of hazards on the trail, decision points, and other features that a SAR team might want to know before going into new territory. Snap2Map can be enabled using your ArcGIS Online account, and I'll show you how to do that today. The first thing is to know that your photos will only have a location if you set your privacy settings correctly. So on an iPhone, you'll want to go to your settings, privacy, and make sure that location services are turned on. After that, you'll want to download Snap2Map, and when you're ready to go, just click on the icon. Here is where we'll create a new story map right from our phone. You want to add a short title, and a description just to get started. This can be filled in later. You can choose your base map, and if you remember, all of our maps have a background image, whether it's imagery or topo map or other. We'll go ahead and use the default topographic map for now. The next thing we can do is begin taking photos. If we're in an urban environment where we have an internet connection, this is a good way to build our Snap2Map or our map tour on the fly. But in this case, I went out and took a hike where I didn't have a reliable internet connection. So I'm just going to choose existing photos. A good trick is to make sure all your photos are in an album so they're easy to find. Here I'll just select from the photos that I'd like to keep in my map tour. And click done. Since my photos know their location, it's going out and mapping those photos for me. But next, we'll need to add short description for each photo. We can do all of that here. Quite easily from our phone, although I can do this more thoroughly later when I get back to the office and inside the map tour environment. I can also refine my position to make sure that I've got the location right, just in case our GPS wasn't accurate. So I could go through and edit these, but what I'll do is I'll do that separately in the map tour application, and I will click done. I can either save these to draft or I can publish and share. You'll want to make sure you have a reliable internet connection when you do this. This warning is just letting me know that in order to make future edits, I'll need to do so through ArcGIS Online inside the map tour. So now it's going out, grabbing my photos, their locations, and any descriptions, and it's pushing it into an ArcGIS Online web mapping application. While we wait, just realize that I've made this tutorial available, and the tutorial itself is by Jennifer Lentz, who's done a great job of putting all these instructions together using a use case on a school trip. So that's available right from the MRA homepage. Okay, on the right of my screen, you'll see that my phone has published our map tour successfully, which means it's up inside of my ArcGIS Online account now. I'm just going to move my phone off the screen for now. So now we'll want to go to our ArcGIS Online account, wherever that is. For the MRA, it's here at msar.maps.arcgis.com. And I want to go to My Content. This is where all my items are stored. Snap2Map makes its own folder. And you can see here I've got layers, maps, and apps. And that's how ArcGIS Online works. We'll go to the web map later, but for now, let's go right into our web mapping application. I'll click on the little link here, and I'll say View Item Details. Now, all ArcGIS Online items give you a chance to provide a better description and thumbnail. I can do that by clicking Edit here. But for now, I want to just go straight into configuring the app. Okay, you'll see here that it's plotted my points on the map correctly. What I want to do now is give each picture some context. So I can go in here and continue to enter titles and a description if I'd like. For instance, here I see a trail hazard. The trail's been washed out. Make sure, as you see here, I have 2 unsaved changes. Make sure you save often by clicking the Save button. Now there are many other features here, such as changing the base map, maybe to some imagery. I can organize the order of my photos in case they're out of order or I want to emphasize something. But what I want to do next is just change some of my settings to really customize my story map. You'll see here I have an option of 2 different layouts. Colors, of which I'll pick blue, and save my map. It's also here in the settings where I can change the header, like custom logos, and how this map will be shared. The starting extent of the map. And an important one for a map like this is the zoom level. I want to make sure that as I click on each point, the map's zoomed in and centered over each photo. In this case, I'll choose something close to 1 to 24,000 like our USGS topographic maps. I'll choose 1 to 18,000. Now I'll save my map, and let's preview it by clicking Share. You'll see that the tour is set to be publicly accessible. So I'll go ahead and click Open. So now you can see my map's been launched. As I click on different points, it zooms into that location. Now here in New Zealand, this community topographic map doesn't quite have a lot of context. The trail isn't mapped on this particular base map. Well, I can either go back to the web map and add GPS tracks or pull in a base map that's local to my area. Let's do that now. So we'll do that by going back to My Content. From my content, I can go back to my web map, open it, and make some changes. Now, any changes I make here on my web map will automatically be changed inside my map tour. There are other tutorials about customizing the web map, but what I'll do quickly here is just show you how I change my base map. So I can search for layers such as trails for the area. Down here in New Zealand, they call them tracks. So I can add one of these layers if I want to add a reference layer. Or, since there's a topographic map specifically for this area, I'll go ahead and add that to my map. So you can see this map has both topography and trails on it by default. I will click Save. And that change should be reflected inside of my web mapping application. So now you'll see the topographic base map has been added to my map. There are other ways to customize this map. You can add photos from really anywhere you'd like, including the internet. And you can see my final product here when I send you the link. That's it for this demonstration. Don't forget to check out the Map Tour tutorial if you'd like to go through this a little bit more slowly and on your own time. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.